Warriors Unite! Back with another second episode on this Easter Sunday. Hope you guys doing well. I changed the camera. I'm going to fiddle around with a little bit more. I'm going to try to do some home this week because I have some time off during the day. We'll see if we can do a couple of videos and catch up a little bit on our videos. Hope you guys doing well on the second broadcast. Easter. Happy Easter, my friends. We're going to take a different topic here. We'll talk about going back to women a little bit here because it's always an important topic for you guys and kind of focus on that. Hope you guys can kind of see me okay here. All right, so let's go to more shout outs here. Wewewe, thank you. So I'm on vegan and fruit. We probably should get into that a little bit at some point. We'll do that as well. Livsnjufare, svenge. Have your own channel. Congratulations, my friend. Thank you for that. And I appreciate your shout out here. Shubhankee, thank you. Player 144, thank you. James Langford, 48 hour fast. Nice job. Keep it up, my friend. We just talked about fasting a few minutes ago. Brother the Bowling Music. Be careful of stalker. We'll talk about that in a second, but you will get stalkers. You will get people who are coming after you. It's happened to me several times over this last couple years of streaking. Women want that energy. They love the emotion of being around you with the energy, and it's not going to stop. So we got to continue looking out for those vampire suckers, energy suckers. Moy Hernandez, thank you, my friend. Tony Montana, thank you. Miramalm 2, thank you. Austin Roberts, thank you. Dr. Von Life's Investing. Antonio Salazar, thank you. Sultran Iqbal, thank you. Sosa Derrick of Flirty Eyes. A lot of women will have flirty eyes towards you. That's something you got to watch out for. And Channel 3, 2 of them. Stop counting your time and years. I agree with that. I think it's a lifestyle change and it's something important to continue with. All right, so enough shout outs. Thank you guys for those. We're going to talk about something that one of our viewers, Narrowpath, had talked about. I think I'm going to adjust this, my friends, so hang with me for 1 second. I'm going to go back here to go up here. I think it's a little bit easier to kind of talk this way. So Narrowpath had a great topic. This is one of our viewers, Narrowpath. And Narrowpath talks about that if the woman is consistently draining your energy, you will become unattractive. And then she can't help believing you. Her biology says that you have to have your energy. Now, she may not say this, but I think Narrowpath is exactly right. But let's talk about this in terms of energy and how we are. So, how can women drain your energy? Well, we know, obviously, the physical way, but there's a lot more to this than meets an eye. And let's kind of delve into this a little bit as we talk about this. Now, we know that our precious source of power for males is our energy. We know that this superpower we have can create children. This is why we have this power. Women who want to have children but also want to feel good about themselves want to be around that energy. And in fact, they want that energy inside of them. And so they're going to be around you. They're going to want to be around you. They sense the energy around you. Therefore, do not be surprised if women come around you, flirt with you. Sometimes they can't even know what they're saying because they're overwhelmed with the amount of energy around you. They just want to be around you. That energy is so strong that they can sense it. They feel it. And so they want that energy. That's why we call people sometimes energy vampires, energy suckers, those things. They want your energy because it makes them feel good. You know, just whenever you have intercourse, you know what happens. The male falls asleep. The female is energized because they now have an energy transfer from you to them. So that's the first thing to think about, warriors here, that they want your energy. So if you're being constantly drained and you have no energy, the women do not want you. That's why you can sit there and look at books all you want, but it's going to be hard to find an actual woman at some point in time because you're continually drained. Women do not biologically want somebody who's drained, and they'll react to that. They may not know why they're reacting to that, but they're reacting to that. Therefore, you have to keep your energy as long as you can and only use it to procreate. Because women want that energy, they're going to continue with it. They're going to do it. They don't care. I mean, in my case, guys, Women don't care if they're married. If you're married for 30 years, they don't care about your families. They all care about that feeling they have when they're in your presence. You make them feel excited. You make them feel like they're a woman, why they're a woman. And you make them feel like they're alive. Very few guys do this. The simps don't do that. These men who just chase women around desperate, they don't do that. They want somebody that makes them feel like. This is why they play with their hair all the time. They're nervous. They don't know what they're saying. They don't want to make a mistake in talking to you. So they don't say anything half the time, or they treat you hit and go type of strategy where they're asking for help. They want to draw you in and then they go backwards. All these type of things are a plan, whether it's conscious or unconscious, to get you sucked in. Realize this. And now you can make decisions based on this reality. So women will want that energy. Whether they want the energy from an emotional standpoint, asking you for help, asking you to help them with their problems, whether they want to physically actually have intercourse with you, they will want your energy. Spiritually, physically, intellectually. The key is, guys, you've got to realize the strength you have and be that leader, that man, that domain of things. You can give energy at times, especially for procreation, but remember what females want. They want attention. They want validation. Because of that, this is their life addiction. This is what they focus on. This is why they're on social media. This is why they're on all these other things all the time. Because they need that validation, especially from a male. You have so much power, you don't realize this. Therefore, what you're going to do is make sure you give it fairly, but to people that you really want to give it to. So when we talk about this idea that Narrowpath is talking about, it's important to realize that as you are interacting with women, you are focusing on your goals, what you want to do to become the best high-value male you become. At that point, what ends up happening is females will be drawn to you. Now, your decision is going to be what to do with that female. What do you want to do? If you want to have a long-term relationship with that person, just remember what she's about. And I love women. There's a lot of great things for women. And there's a lot of purposes for women in your life. But make sure you're aware of those things along with the needs that they have before you get in any kind of relationship and before you even think about losing any of your energy. Because that's going to be the whole key to making you effective. The longer you're keeping your energy, the more attractive you become. And I know there's a lot of those naysayers that say you're crazy, you know what you're talking about. But for those of us who've been on the streaks, you know that the longer you're on the streaks, the longer that energy permeates and stays in your body, the stronger you get, the more confident you get, and for whatever reason, the more attractive you get. And that's the key to this whole thing. So therefore, we know that if women come to you, they're going to want to drain your energy. Don't allow that to happen. Focus on yourself. Ignore women when you have to. Focus on them when you have to. But the key is going to be in control of those situations. Just like you're in control of semen retention, you're now in control of those situations around you. And as you become more in control of those situations, the better you're going to be at being able to organize and have dominion of your life. And this is what God wanted us to do. Have dominion. Be able to do well. You can see this all the time. Do not allow women to emotionally tie you in, because they're going to do that. How do they do that? Well, let's look at some examples. So, for example, we know that men fall in love with women because they're doing things for women. When a woman comes and asks you to do things, asks you to help her here, help her there, they are setting the tables for you to actually fall in love with them. Physically, a spirit, an act like intercourse, sex, things like that, for a male is not the same in many cases, because the male, it's more of a physical type of thing. Now, females, when they have intercourse, this is when most females fall in love. But males fall in love when females ask them to do things for them. Now, all of a sudden, you're doing this providing and protection thing. When you're protecting a female, now you're falling for that female. Be careful, because females know this. They like to always play that hit and run game, right? They're basically asking for your help, and all of a sudden, if you become too close, now they don't want that, and they back away. So now they're drawing you to them. Now it's almost like you're drawing. Now, sometimes it seems like you have some sort of like voodoo doll, something on you, right? That person's put a curse on you or something like that. And who knows? Anything is possible in this world. But the idea is that women are very smart when it comes to this. They know what they're doing, and they know they're trying to draw that man in, especially if you're working, you're on your goals. It's easy to get tempted. It's easy to get tempted away. It's easy to go ahead and say, okay, this is going to happen now. I'm getting tempted away from this, okay? It's very easy to do that. All right, so anyway, back to what we're talking about here. It's important to focus on and realize that as you look at this, it's important to notice that you have to go ahead and look at, if women draining you, if they're draining you, they're looking at trying to focus on how important it is to have that energy. I had the car went out for some reason here, but if you focus on how important it is to keep your energy, now you're going to focus on understanding females and understanding how this is working. But females would try to get that energy from you by dragging you into a situation where, well, now you can't live without them. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with love. There's nothing wrong with some of the stuff we're talking about. But be aware of how the male psyche and the female psyche works. Females really understand the idea that they want males to protect and provide for them. So the female will allow that to happen because they want that to happen. And so they will draw the male in, and the males want to protect and provide, and so they will be falling into that. Now, if the situation is the right way, that's great. But remember that you're still losing that energy, and you're still possibly being tempted, and you may not get everything you want out of the situation. So be careful of this when you make decisions. Oops, sorry about that. And so you may not want to make that kind of decisions when you're focusing on it. We've had a lot of technical difficulties here with the car going on and off. Sorry about that. But the idea, guys, is to focus on really focusing on how you're using that energy of yours. And when it comes to male and female relationships, the important part of this is to realize that as you're focusing on energy, keeping your energy, be careful how you're using it, even from an emotional standpoint. Women want men to become attached to them, give them a validation, give them attention, and basically emotionally be tied to them. If you're tied to a woman emotionally, you're being drained. You have to learn the Stoic way to detach away. Show them love and affection at times, but be able to detach. That's not easy, but it's something that's very possible to do. And I think this is why we talk about the fact that we recognize that women have that need for attention, validation, and they want your energy, but you have to be in control yourselves and control how things work, because women they've been doing this for thousands of years. Women realize, going back to the caveman days, they're not as strong as females. They're not as strong as males. Females realize they're not as strong as males. So therefore, they've got to find a lot of other ways to get males to protect them, to be able to be there around them, and to be able to help them. This is why when you look at things in other species, you could see why there's a queen bee and all the other bee workers are males, okay? You see the same thing with praying mantises, where the male's head is cut off. You know, she bites the female bites the head off of the male praying mantis after he impregnates her. Those things happen for a reason, right? We understand that. So as a male, you have to be dominant, but be strong enough to understand why it's important to be dominant, and be able also to focus on the idea that you want to conserve your energy and use it for yourself to become healthy, to become strong and vibrant, become that strong, powerful male that we are, but also to hold on to that energy so we don't get caught by the vampire suckers. All right, so once again, I apologize for some of the difficulties of our car going off and on here, but I appreciate your interest. I hope this helps a little bit. And again, we did a double one today, so I'll try to do a couple more during the week to try to catch up a little bit more. Until then, guys, I always leave with two. Have a wonderful Easter. 2 things I always leave you with. 1, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And number 2, guys, we got to continue to bow